Greetings everyone, this is Hong Long from Hong Long Wuxia, and today we are going to go over Chinese radicals, which are always preferable and much more useful than middle class radicals from any other country. So there are over 200 radicals in the Chinese language. I believe that the Kangxi dictionary or lexicon lists 240 Chinese radicals. When I learned this, I learned the first 40, almost the first 40 words I learned were 40 radicals. I probably know maybe another 100, but first we're going to go through the first 40 radicals that I learned, and then we will add to that afterwards. So on that note, let us begin. All right. I said 240, I meant 214 radicals, and apparently there are some dictionaries who have made the number out to be, or reduced the number of radicals to 189. Basically, if you learn the radicals, it'll help you recognize the characters, and it'll make learning the language and calligraphy much easier. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do I'll do one page where I just do the radical of a few times, like maybe 2 per line. And for the first 2, I'll also put an alternative, the way it looks alternatively. I mean, by itself, it doesn't signify anything, but it's the way they use the radical when it's grouped with other words so that you can recognize it. And then I will do another, I'll do a second page where I'll just do the character twice, but in bigger letters, and bigger strokes. So I'll just do a second page of the radical with two. I'll just write the character twice. All right, so this first one is one that we've already gone over. It's the word for person, and it is ren. And for that one, we go downward to the left. And then about 3/4 of the way, we do a downwards to the right. Downward to the left. And about there, we do downwards to the right. Not too shabby. Downward to the left. And downward to the right. Oh, by the way, we didn't go over it. Let's grip the brush right. Middle finger, ring finger. And then we put the thumb and the forefinger on there. And we are ready to go. So downward and to the left. That was bad. A little wavy. And downward to the right. Now, the way you'll see this in other words is, like you see this in the word for you, ni, the first part of it. Downward to the right, or downward to the left, and downwards to the right. Alrighty then. There we go. The second one looks pretty good. Third one's not too shabby. None of them are all too great, but we're a work in progress. Alrighty then. So now we'll do it a little bit bigger. Down and to the left. About 3/4 up, and then downwards to the right.
down and to the left. And down and to the right. It's bleeding too much water this time. And that is the first Chinese radical, Ren, meaning person. So now the second one that we're going to do is a new word. If I get my... All right, the next one is a new word. Ah, there's too much water on it too. And it is the word for knife. Or is the word for knife, which is Dao. And in Chinese, the knife is any one-sided blade. So, like Guan Yu's halberd. Which looks like this. That's a knife. Because only one edge is sharp. If it has if it has more than one edge, it's referred to as a sword. All right, so for this one, we start right here, and we're going to do a horizontal hook. Was it a horizontal bend? Followed by a downward to the left. And that's horrible. That's really horrible. This is supposed to be much longer than this. So we're going to do a horizontal bend and downwards to the right. A little bit better. Horizontal bend and downwards to the left. Horizontal, I need more paint and water there. All right, so horizontal bend, downwards to the left. There we go. That one's not too shabby. Now the way you see this one with other words, like in the word for John, sword, is a horizontal line and a longer one. That's horrible. But that's the way you'll see it in other words. When you, and it's supposed to help you know the meanings of words too. Like this is person, okay? But like when you see this is with the beginning to ni, which is also a person. It just means you. All right, so one more time here. Whoop, whoop. Alrighty then, let's see what we got here. Last one actually looks pretty good. Third one's not so bad either. All right, let's do two larger ones. Alrighty then. So the next word is very similar to the previous one. And I should have wrote the word for knife down on the paper in Chinese, but I'll make sure to do it from now on. So the next word that we're going to do is the Chinese word for power, which is li. Okay, and this is very similar looking to the Chinese word, and it's actually the same exact brush strokes. There's going to be... Come on, get the paper down right. Okay, so there's going to be a horizontal bend and a downwards to the left. The difference is that this one, the downwards to the left, starts intersects with the horizontal bend instead of beginning at it. So horizontal bend, downwards to the right, and it is li. That one came out pretty good. This one isn't because I don't have enough ink on. Well, that's what happens when you don't have enough ink. All right, there we go. Oh, I should... All right, there we go. It's not too shabby. This one looks the best, I think. That's my unprofessional opinion. I should get a paper towel. We're at least going to do that many more papers. Or we're going to go through at least that many more sheets. All right, so two big ones. We're going to go horizontal bend. I mean, you could also call this a horizontal hook, but horizontal hook is, I mean, you can call this a horizontal hook with the hook part being very long, or a horizontal bend with a hook on it. Don't really care for either of those. This one, I started up too high. It should have been a little bit lower. And you can see this this character for power is in the one for dragon. It's the root for dragon. All right, so for the next one, we'll be doing the Chinese word for right hand, or again, A-G-I-I-N. Play it again, Sam. So, and that is or that word is yo. Y-O-U. And we do, for this word, we're going to, once again, do the horizontal bend. But this time there's going to be a lot more of a bend to it. And then we're going to start right here and do a downwards to the right. Actually, doesn't look bad. All right, so horizontal bend, starting right here, and a downwards to the right. That's way too low. That should be more. They should intersect more towards the middle. So downward or horizontal bend, and a downwards to the right. There should be more of an angle to this horizontal bend, so try it like, there we go. Now that kind of looks a little bit better, but not much. So, it's too much of an angle, so there we go. And then downwards to the right. Much better. This last one looked halfway decent. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Word for again. All right. Alrighty then, 2 large ones. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. I'm about to practice this one a lot more. It looks so easy to do, and it's just it looks like crap. It literally looks like the easiest dang word that I've done so far, and yeah, it doesn't look anything like what it's supposed to look like. The best one in here is this first one. If this would be like going up more, and it would be thicker. And this last one was not too bad if this would flatten out more. All right, we're going to do 2 more, mainly because they're pretty much exactly the same with one slight difference. Okay, now let's look at that. Okay. So the first one is the Chinese word for mouth, which is ko. That's a O. All right, so for this one, we're going to do a vertical, and then we're going to do a horizontal bend, and then we're going to do a horizontal to close. And that is it. So vertical, down, horizontal bend, horizontal to close. Not too shabby there. Vertical, horizontal bend, vertical to close. I think. See, that messed up there because I didn't do it in one. It's supposed to be one stroke there. So down, horizontal bend, and close. vertical, horizontal bend, and close. And smaller. Boom, 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 and boom. All right. That one's pretty simple. And the next one is almost exactly alike. Well, let's do two larger ones of these first. Cats are wanting their treats. They're starting to meow. Getting a little restless on me. Alrighty then. Dun, 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 dun. Two big ones. Boom. Alright, so vertical down, horizontal bend, and a close. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. And that's coal, mouth. The next radical is the Chinese word for enclose, which is way. And this one, as I said, almost exactly like the previous one, we're going to do a downward horizontal. And this time, instead of a horizontal bend, it will be a horizontal hook. And then we're going to close. So, vertical, horizontal hook, and close. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Way. Way to or enclose, not to enclose, but enclose. I guess it could also mean to enclose, or it probably does mean to enclose as well. All right. Make this a little bit larger. See, I shouldn't have lifted up off of the paper there. I think that's a big taboo or big no-no. I think. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. All right. So there we go. Way. All right, everybody. This has been Hong Long from Hong Long Wuxia. I hope you enjoyed today's video.
If you did, make sure and give it a like down below. Hit the subscribe button and share the video on your social media sites, and make sure you go over it over and over and over again. Remember, the only way you're going to get better at this or anything else is to keep practicing.